Hi, it's Lonnie with Crafty Traveler, and I am getting ready to go on another camping trip, this time with Ernie. This will be our last camping trip for the year. We're leaving in the morning, which will be November the 5th. We're going to go up to Lake of the Springs, which is near Oregon House, California. We're going to meet up with some new friends from the Sacramento Women Who Love to Camp group. And my friend Kathleen Bray, who went on our BCGF campout, and I did a tour of her motorhome, I'll post it above, is going to be there with her daughter, and my friend Terry Hurd, who was also at that campout, will be there also. In fact, we're going to caravan with Terry, so she doesn't have to drive it all by herself. And I'm going to drive most of it, but I wanted Ernie along this time because it is about 4.5 hours away from our home. And I haven't driven that far, and it's new road. But I want to drive it at least part of the way going and part of the way coming home. So Lake of the Springs is up northeast of Marysville, California. It is a 1,000 trail campground, and we are not 1,000 trail members, but they do reserve a few sites for retail campers, which is what we are considered. It is a first come first serve. However, when you make a reservation, they do that so they don't overbook it. We will have electrical and water, and there is a dump station. So I'm looking forward to that. So we're getting everything all packed up, getting ready to go, so we can leave first thing in the morning. Gotta have my snacks. My favorite, Pringles salt and vinegar. I only eat these on occasion. Oh, I gotta have my iced tea. Made that with the Mr. Coffee iced tea maker today. Sometimes I make it in a big jar, and I put it in my sink when we're traveling, and I put the water and the tea bags in there, and it sits in the sink very securely, and we travel. By the time I get there, I've got tea. Let's see, we gotta have salad dressing. So this will be an interesting camp out because I won't know some of the ladies will be making new friends. We have a day of rain. I'm going to be bringing my rock painting supplies and my watercolor postcard supplies. And someone else is bringing some little birdhouses that we can do and paint and keep. So it should be a fun camp out. There is a lake, but I understand, of course, the water's quite low. And none of the ladies that usually go there fish, so they don't know anything about the fishing. But we're taking our fishing poles and tackle with us, and we can walk down to the lake and throw some lures or something just to see if there's anything there that's going to bite. So, follow along with us as we go to Lake of the Springs in Oregon House, California.
About to leave.
Thanks for watching.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
It's a beautiful fall day in Northern California. We're headed east on Highway 20 and going to the place where we're meeting with Terry. There's Terry.
looking back. Eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde. A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights. I've died with my own doubts.
Williams is a small town on the I-5 corridor. 20 and I-5 intersect at Williams, and we always like to come to Williams and stop at Granzella's restaurant. It's our favorite lunch stop. There's a parking lot across the street for RVs, as well as a dirt parking lot for trucks and RVs. Back on the road, continuing east on 20. We are now entering Yuba City. We actually used to live in Yuba City in the 80s. It has certainly built up since we were there. No box stores or major businesses when we were there. It was a little country town. Now it's all built up. Going over the Marysville Bridge and crossing over the Feather River. Now we're in Marysville, California, which played a part during the gold rush times. Now we're turning right and continuing east up towards the foothills towards the turnoff to Collins Lake and Bullard's Bar, which will then lead us to Oregon House. On the left, you'll see there are a lot of colorful trees. As we get closer to the mountains, there'll be more color. On the left are rice fields, flooded, and a lot of geese will be using that for their stopovers going south. Here's where we will turn north towards Bullard's Bar, Collins Lake, and Oregon House. We will soon be in Oregon House, and the campground's only a few miles farther north. There's Oregon House. Don't blink. I want to interrupt this video just to remind you to please give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget that little bell. If you want to be notified, you click the bell and click the dark bell and you will be notified. If you don't click the bell, you're subscribed and you can view it anytime you want, but you won't get the little notification that's up on the top of your screen when you're in YouTube. So, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video. Well, we've made it to the entrance of Lake of the Springs campground, and we're driving in to the campground. To the left is the dump station, which we will be visiting on our way out. The trailers and RVs you see on your right, that is actually a storage area for people who want to store their vehicles there and come up whenever they have reservations. As we come into the camp area, B section is up on the right and G section is on the left, and most of the people we are meeting with are in section G, so that's where we're headed. I will do a more detailed tour in another video, but you can see the RV spaces are spaced apart and there are a lot of trees, and they are water and electric only. Ernie had to turn around so that we could find the space we wanted and back in at a better angle. We will be in this space to the right next to this larger trailer. He was able to back in successfully. There's the store. We dropped our registration card in the little box because nobody was there yet. And there's a Blue Bunny ice cream, and there is a deli, which are also closed right now. Maybe we'll get to them this weekend. Taking a walk. See all the deers. Oop, spooked them. Did I do that? I don't think so. I think they heard somebody over there.
They're tiny.
They're small ones. They're young ones. Well, this one right here in front's older. That's probably this year's crop of deer.
4, 5, 6, 7, Kate.
This family knows this deer quite well. They've named him Morty. He's very tame. Come to find out, Morty is friendly to many of the campers in the campground. Oh, the deer are coming into our camp. We have a parade of deer coming into camp. These are the ones we saw earlier. There they are. Someone said there's 16 deer in camp this time. They have 3 buck, besides the little buck I saw earlier. And most of them are does and fawns. Pretty. They're all pretty. Well, we made it to Lake of the Springs, got set up with water and electricity, and I met some of the ladies. 2 of them I already know, Kathleen and my friend Terry, who I have yet to do a tour of her motorhome, but I hope to do it this weekend. And I wanted to show you my new shirt, Crafty Traveler, a little different color. My friend Jackie Knoll delivered it to me just before we left, and her information is down in my description. So after we got here and hooked up, my friend Terry and I walked up to the store where we had to put in our little registration ticket in a little box because the store was already closed. But on the way, we saw lots of deer, including this buck that's got a name, Morty. And he's so friendly that people can pet him. I haven't pet him yet, but maybe I will before the weekend is over. So if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Comment, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more Lake of the Springs weekend. Thanks for watching.